New at noon, the coronavirus recovery. This afternoon, all eyes are on the next reopening date as the spread of the virus shows signs of slowing. Unemployment claims climb as the growing number of Americans file. Plus, a multi-state manhunt comes to an end, where police caught a Yukon senior at the center of 2 murder investigations.
All right, it's another warm and muggy day across Connecticut. It's also cloudy. We'll have the latest on the chance for some spotty showers and when to expect perhaps some rain with thunderstorms with the arrival of a cold front that brings an end to the heat and humidity. That's ahead in the early warning forecast.
Those stories and more ahead in just a few moments. Eyewitness News at noon is next.
From WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at noon.
First at noon, more testing for Hartford today. A mobile COVID-19 testing site will be at the Parker Memorial Community Center in the city's north end. Now, this is a partnership between Trinity Health of New England and Charter Oak Health Center to give residents more opportunities to get tested. Chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff is live in Hartford, where testing has already started. And Susan, how many people are they expecting, especially now that they're asking everyone to come?
Kara, good afternoon. It's hard to say, but we were just told that in the last couple of days at different Hartford locations, more than 200 people came to get tests. So that clearly shows that there is a need and also a demand. In fact, Hartford is one of those communities where they need to ramp up testing. And this partnership is an opportunity to give people in Hartford more opportunities and access to get tested. The fact is that many of them don't have primary care physicians as in the suburbs do.
Hartford was hit hard. Hartford, I think, has second highest fatalities right now as a city, I think, in this state behind Stamford. And that's why when it comes to going to the folks who most need the testing, most likely to get infected, most likely to have complications, we're bringing the testing right to you.
So the whole focus here is trying to help people in Hartford get tested. These tests are obviously free and you don't need a doctor's note. This mobile site here in the north end will be here from 8 to 4 today, and then it will pack up and go somewhere else. If you'd like to get more information about these locations and the testing program, you can go to several websites. Trinity Health of New England. You should also go to Charter Oak, and of course both of these links will be on the Channel 3 app. So again, they are free. You do not need a doctor's note to come here. If you don't have internet access, there is help for you as well. You can also call 311. And we were told just minutes ago that there's also transportation, free transportation to some of these testing sites. We are live in Hartford. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Susan. Some new numbers out this afternoon show that 1 in 4 U.S. workers have filed for unemployment since this pandemic started. Last week, an additional 2.1 million people filed. Altogether, more than 40 million Americans have filed for first-time unemployment benefits since this shutdown. The hospitality industry accounted for the bulk of the lost jobs last month. This comes as businesses across Connecticut are just over a week into reopening. Restaurants that have reopened are enforcing some new rules. Everyone must be wearing a mask and dining outside, and some are even taking your temperature. Owners say they're doing everything they can to follow the new guidelines and keep everyone safe.
Just letting them know what you're doing to keep people safe how you're keeping them safe and what they need to do to help keep you safe as well.
As an owner, you got to stay engaged with the people more than probably you did before, because it's a whole learning process for everybody, not just us.
Today, members of the Reopen Connecticut Advisory Group's committee discussed how to best balance health and economic outcomes amid this pandemic. Monday, more businesses are expected to reopen, like hair salons, barbershops, and the casinos. We're going to have live coverage of the coronavirus for you all day long, and also a special live edition of Face the State tonight with Channel 3's Dennis House. He'll once again be talking one-on-one with Governor Ned Lamont, getting answers to the questions that you want to know. It starts at 7 o'clock right here on Eyewitness News. Still ahead here at noon, a desperate hunt for a Yukon senior suspected in 2 homicides has been arrested in Maryland. State police have released this new mugshot of 23-year-old Peter Manfredonia. He was caught in Haverstown, Maryland last night. Manfredonia is accused of killing 62-year-old Ted Demers last Friday and seriously injuring another person after pretending to have trouble with his motorcycle. He's then accused of breaking into a home in Willington, stealing guns and food in a pickup truck before driving to Derby. Police say he then killed Nicholas Easel before kidnapping Easel's girlfriend. She was later found in New Jersey. Police say he then took an Uber to a Walmart in East Stroudsburg before taking a separate Uber all the way to Hagerstown, Maryland.
The suspect will face justice, and this will bring closure. This is what is important for the families of the victims.
This is still a very much developing story, and state police are expected to hold a news conference later on this afternoon. We will have the very latest on what comes out of that news conference on Eyewitness News at 4 and on the Channel 3 app. We'll be staying on top of all the breaking news all day long. For updates as well as a timeline leading up to Peter Manfredonia's arrest, you can head to our Channel 3 app.
All right, and weather-wise, as expected today, another warm and muggy day, but also one featuring a little bit more cloud cover, and scanning within those clouds, early warning pinpoint Doppler picking up on just a few sprinkles, mainly across northern Connecticut and primarily to the northwest of the 84 corridor. So not a washout by any means. There could be an isolated shower this afternoon. There's a look at current temperatures: 72 in Winstead, 71 in Bristol. Also 72 in eastern Connecticut and Plainfield, and 68 currently in West Haven. But notice in that second column, dew point values higher than yesterday, mid and upper 60s, so reaching that nearly oppressive level. So today it's slightly more uncomfortable compared to yesterday, despite temperatures being a little bit cooler. We've got the southerly wind pumping in that warm and muggy air mass. Winds out of the south at around 5 to 15 miles an hour. So through the rest of today, temperatures push the mid and upper 70s inland, low 70s along the shoreline, with that chance for some spotty showers, especially later today. You can see most of the rain right now that has been developing is to our west. So that will try to work into western Connecticut a bit later on this evening and overnight. And like the last couple of nights, we are forecasting more fog, low clouds, and as well as some drizzle to start our day tomorrow. So we'll have much more on a threat for thunderstorms with a cold front that will end the heat and humidity. When to expect a refreshing change. It's all ahead in the early warning 7-day forecast.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mark. And still to come, mayhem in Minnesota. Look at this as hundreds of protesters clash with police over the death of George Floyd. And beware beachgoers, a warning for those who aren't following social distancing guidelines. We'll be right back.
And you take graphics, right? This is where I'll do a time lapse. Okay. Beautiful. It's the Hartford Capitol. Camera back.
Right now, Waterford town leaders are reminding everyone to stay safe at the beach. The warning comes a day after police officers were forced to remove a large group of people who refused to socially distance. Employees with the Commission of Recreation and Parks tell us they warned dozens of teens who were packing a section of the beach to spread out, but they just wouldn't listen. Other people who had been sitting near the water became uneasy.
I think I saw maybe 30, 40 kids that kept grouping down at the beach, and there was a lot of open space, and we kindly asked them a couple times to spread out, and they would do it at first and then go back together.
Police were called and they escorted the group off the sand. Town leaders say if you are heading to Waterford's beach, you do need to know the rules. And this really applies to most of Connecticut. Spread out, bring a mask, and keep groups to 5 or under.
All right, our iCam time lapse from our capital city, looking at the state capitol from early this morning. Of course, we had some fog, locally dense, especially throughout southern Connecticut. Visibility certainly has been improving, but the clouds linger, and there's a chance for some spotty showers the rest of today. We'll have the latest on how much longer the summer-like warmth and humidity lasts. Improvement for part of the weekend. That's ahead in the early morning 7-day forecast.
And here's a look at the stock market today. The Dow is up 139 points, trading at 25,685 right now. Thank you for being here for Eyewitness News at noon, whether you're watching on TV or streaming on our app. We'll be right back.
Excellent. Okay, plenty of time.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather with meteorologist Mark DIXON.
All right, weather-wise for the rest of our Thursday across Connecticut, we're going to see a lot of cloud cover. So if you're heading out and about, it's still going to be certainly on the warm and muggy side, not quite as warm as yesterday with temperatures being held into the 70s instead of reaching the 80s inland. And there's a chance for a little sprinkle activity. That's certainly the case right now, especially across northern Connecticut. You can see on early warning pinpoint Doppler over the last 30 minutes, the progression basically on these little spotty showers or drizzle, some sprinkles working from southwest to northeast. And temperatures across the state already up to, say, 77 at Bradley International Airport, 74 in Hartford, 73 for Willimantic, even low 70s in the Northwest Hills, and from 65 to 70 right now along the Connecticut coastline. We saw the southerly wind flow pumping in this warm and muggy air mass. So today, dew point value is actually higher than yesterday, mid to upper 60s here in the noon hour for many communities across our state. So certainly becoming a bit more uncomfortable. There's our ICAM view from Torrington showing the low clouds. Not the best visibility, so again, a little sprinkle activity, some light rain there. As we check out the scene from Hartford looking east over the Connecticut River, we're going to be hard-pressed to see really any sort of substantial sunshine this afternoon, maybe a few intervals here or there. Our view from New Haven showing the gray skies over New Haven. And more of the same, checking in on the tugboats from southeast Connecticut from New London. So throughout the region, you can see some steadier, heavier rain off to our west heading into the Great Lakes. That's actually the remnant moisture from what was once Tropical Storm Bertha that made landfall yesterday morning over South Carolina. So the bulk of the steadier, heavier rain today should stay to our west. High pressure offshore continues to pump in this warm and muggy air mass. But do notice across the western Great Lakes, coming out of the northern plains, we've got a cold front that's going to slowly head in our direction, arriving later tomorrow and slowly progress through Connecticut on Saturday. So with that, we'll see a better chance for rain statewide and as well perhaps some thunderstorms. So here's a check of futurecast. Tomorrow's weather today, the abundance of gray indicates a lot of cloud cover this afternoon. You see those specks of green through the evening hours indicating as well the possibility for some spotty showers or some sprinkle activity. That'll be the case, in fact, overnight tonight with areas of fog once again developing, giving this moisture-rich atmosphere that we have. And then tomorrow, we'll see perhaps some intervals of sunshine. Notice any sort of thunderstorm threat tomorrow at 7 p.m. is still to the west of Connecticut. That's in advance of that cold front. So as we head into Friday night and Saturday morning, we'll see a better chance for rain, possibly a couple rumbles of thunder. That front will be slowly pushing through the state on Saturday. And along that, say around noontime, perhaps a rumble of thunder, some scattered showers. And behind that, we'll get a clearing trend underway. And behind this front, cooler, drier air filters into the state on a northwesterly wind. So the humidity sticks around for tomorrow. Temps could reach or exceed the 80-degree mark, perhaps some late-day clearing on Saturday, mid-70s, then trending cooler and less humid, also mostly sunny over the second half of the weekend as we close out the last weekend of May. And then we kick off June on Monday. High temperatures may only get to near 70. There's a slight chance for an isolated afternoon shower, not a big deal, mostly sunny Tuesday, perhaps a better chance of rain in here by the afternoon and evening of Wednesday of next week. Shoreline highs this weekend, mid-70s Saturday and Sunday, but Sunday will feel much better than Saturday as that drier air will allow for lower humidity over the second half of the weekend. You're now up to date with the very latest early warning 7-day forecast.